And so I wanted to discuss the topic of palm cooling, or regulating body temperature through the palms of the hands with some sort of device with the sport of soccer. So there's different ways to implement palm cooling in this sport. So at the lower levels, athletes are allowed to come on and off the field at the coach's discretion, depending on if they're tired or not, or if they need to get other players on the field. So in these instances, it just makes total sense. Have some cooling devices available so that the kids can pick them up, hold them in their hands, put them on their forehead, and they will do this automatically. You don't even have to teach them to do this. My son's soccer team, we have, half dozen of these on the sideline. As kids come off the field and the coach is making substitutions, the kids grab them and they know inherently what to do with it. This is part of the validity of the concept, is that when you put a palm cooling device down for somebody who is getting hot and who is getting tired, they will automatically know what to do with it. They will grab it in their hands and they will stick it on their forehead, because those are the two of the three areas that have this high density of specialized blood vessels under the skin that allow for rapid heat exchange. Okay, and that's what we're trying to do. So again, lower levels, it's a no-brainer. Have some palm cooling devices available for the athletes to use as they come off the field and take a break, and then they can put it down when they go back on the field and compete, and they will have had a better recovery while on the bench. You could also obviously use it during halftime. At upper levels, in-game use of palm cooling is a little bit more specialized, right? So when a player is substituted out, they are not allowed to return to the field. And so there's not really a big reason to have palm cooling available in those situations. I would argue that during halftime, even though halftime is fairly long, it is ideal to help the player regulate their temperature more effectively, more efficiently, and more quickly by having palm cooling available during halftime. So that is one area where you may want to have some of these for your team to help them bring their temperature back down, bring their heart rate back down faster, so that their halftime recovery is more effective. What we're seeing now in the Euros, right, and in the Copas, is that in the knockout rounds, when a tie score is not an option, we really want to think of how can we maximize that time from the end of regular time to that first overtime period, and then between the two overtime periods, what can you do for your athletes or for your players to maximize their recovery during that 5-minute period, okay? There's not a lot of time, and so everything that is done during that 5 minutes of rest between that next overtime period is incredibly important. So we should be hydrating, they should be getting some fuel, but they should also be bringing their temperature back down more effectively with a palm cooling device, right? So we've got the 90 minutes of play, we've got whatever extra stoppage time there is, you've got a break. During that break, before the first 15-minute overtime period or extra time period, we need to be palm cooling. They're going to play for 15 minutes, then they're going to have another break, right? So these are the times, and these are maybe the most important minutes of the match to see who is going to go on to the next round. And we see it over, we saw it in the World Cup with in the final with France and Argentina, right? Players were not dumping heat through their palms or forehead. They were hydrating, they were resting obviously, but more could have been done for those teams. We're seeing it now like in the Euros as we've watched the semifinals most recently. Okay, so in soccer, there's some nuance to when in-game palm cooling matters. In the youth sports where they can sub in and out, yes, have them on the sideline, it's a no-brainer. They're gonna use it all the time. You don't even have to teach them what to do. In the higher levels, it's going to be more of a specific tool to deploy when the game is going to go into extra time, because there was a tie score at the end of regular time.